I'm over at 47th Street and 2nd Avenue. So this one's at 2nd Avenue, 54th Street. Not a lot of phones left on this stretch of 2nd Avenue. I actually made myself useful today. I've been making myself useful actually this whole week. It's not often I get to say that. But I was walking toward the bridge and I saw a phone on the sidewalk, a cell phone. And it took a couple of seconds for me to fully register what I was looking at because it was just something sort of strange about seeing it there. And right as I see the phone, a car pulls off and drives away. And I figured whoever just got into that car must have dropped their phone. I was looking for some way to call the last person that called that phone or whatever, but it was passcode protected. So I just held on to it, trying to figure out what to do with it. And I'm not going to lie, I was also starting to think that this really isn't my problem and I was just going to ditch it. But I held on to it and I'm glad I did because a few minutes after I picked it up, it rang. And I asked, who's this? And I was talking to not the person who lost the phone, but the other person that was in that car with him. And I told them where I was located, and they were there within a minute. And I tell you what, you will never see anybody so happy as when they lose their phone and have it safely returned to them. This guy looked happier than he might have looked on his wedding day or the birth of a child or something. It was good to see, and he also saved me a trip to the ATM because he gave me $20 as a thank you token, which was appreciated. I was going to try to refuse it, but what am I going to? That's probably what I would do if I had a 20 on me and lost my phone like that. It's not the first time I've found somebody's phone. And one time another guy gave me $20, so maybe that's my new career, is finding cell phones. I'll tell you what, I'm continuing to have the best luck finding Metro cards. These two were just sitting on the sidewalk. And I'm going to find out later if there's anything left on them, but anyway. This is where three in a row used to be, 3 payphones. And they're obviously gone. 2nd Avenue, just off of 57th. It looks like this piece of work is hanging on somehow. I've made video of this one before. Something just dystopian about this thing. How this can survive on a busy city street. The other way I've been making myself useful is I connected with an artist friend who I've known for a couple of years now. He's doing a project involving payphones. And who would have thought that my knowledge of where to find abandoned derelict payphone locations would bring so much joy into somebody's life. I mean, he was practically jumping up and down in joy when I made this one particular discovery, but I got him to about 12, I think 10 or 12 locations, and one of them he'll definitely be using for his project. But I mean, it's just funny because, like, you talk about useless information, but people used to make fun of me for knowing where to find working payphones, although I think anybody who thinks about it will at least cut it some slack, give it some credit for being useful in some circumstance. But to know where all the non-working phones are, to know where you can find abandoned, unused clamshell enclosures with the payphone removed. For that to be a useful and valuable bit of knowledge just shows you that there's no limit to obscure knowledge being valued. This is over on 58th Street by 3rd Avenue. This one actually looks like it's in decent shape. This one's been overtaken by the artist named Raymond. And he has a long-term fixation on bottled water, how wasteful it is. So you see empty bottles of air in a lot of his artwork. And here he is again. I think some people thought that the Trump thing had something to do with the election, because that's when these first appeared. That's when I first noticed them, at least. But again, it's just the same conceit. The wastefulness of bottled water. No doubt to him, by the way, but we didn't expect that, did we? Yeah, there's always traffic here. Going to the Ed Koch Queensboro. Let's see what I got, if anything. $5.50. All right. That one's empty. Okay, so I just found $5.50.